Hi and welcome to Foodie Moodie, and today we're going to be doing the gluten-free almond flour keto bread, which is inspired by the recipe by the keto coach Maria Emmerich. The ingredients you'll need are almond flour, psyllium husk powder, baking powder, sea salt, apple cider vinegar, hot water, egg whites from 3 eggs, sesame seeds, and then some herbs which are optional that you choose to have. If you don't like almond flour or you have an allergy to nuts, you can make this recipe with coconut flour instead. Next, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees centigrade. Now mix your ingredients in a large bowl. So I'm doing all the dry ingredients first. So the almond flour, you do 1 1/4 cups of almond flour. So there's 1 cup and there's the 1/4 cup. Now take your ground psyllium husk powder and you add 5 tablespoons of this psyllium husk powder. Now take the baking powder and you add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And finally, with the dry ingredients, take 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And then make the mix with your wet ingredients. So first you need the white of 3 eggs. Then you do 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and then 1 cup of hot water. Mix all these together. I'm using a fork, and then add them slowly to the dry ingredients. I'm mixing here with a large fork. You can also use a hand whisk. I like to do it with a fork and then get my fingers in. Also, sometimes I find the 1 cup of water not quite enough, so I add extra bits of water until the dough feels a bit like the texture of Play-Doh. Next, take some baking paper and put it on a baking tray, and I'm just spraying a bit of coconut oil down just so that the bread and the rolls don't stick. And then I make from my dough with wet hands, which you can either wet with water or you can add a bit of olive oil to your hands, and make 6 rolls. So just pat them onto the baking tray, making them a little flatter, make them quite round. I like mine a bit rustic, so they're not perfectly round. So you should get 6 out of this, and then what I do is add some sesame seeds onto the top of the rolls, like so. And I just pat the sesame seeds into the dough a little bit. I'm also making a loaf of bread here with the same recipe as the 6 rolls, but with this one I'm adding dry rosemary herbs into the dough. So I sprinkle some herbs on the top, knead it with my fingers, and then add some more in, and you can add as much as you want. And then once you're happy with the amount of rosemary, then take the dough in one piece and place it on your baking tray, as I'm doing here. Flatten out the dough, and maybe sort of make it into a bit of a round shape. Like I say, I like my things quite rustic looking. Then I add a few more sesame seeds on the top of this. Again, pat them into the dough, like so. And then you're ready to put them into the oven. So my oven's now preheated, and I'm going to put the rolls and the bread into the oven, sort of in the middle. And then what we're going to do there is time them for 55 minutes. Okay. Oh, bread's ready! 55 minutes is up. My bread's done. Look at those. And to check, tap them and they should sound a bit hollow. These are done perfectly. And there you have my lovely 6 almond flour rolls and rosemary bread. Look at those rolls. Oh, and they're lovely with a bit of butter on them. Thanks for watching, and I think we can safely say that this could be called Inbred with Neil Moodie. Brrr.